The people in charge of America's colleges are terrified. Why? Because you're not showing up. Since the peak in 2010, the US has lost over 3 million college students. This is a systemic collapse driven by something simple. The value is gone. Your debt is up. Job certainty is low. And employers are literally removing degree requirements from jobs. We're going to show you exactly why this is happening, even how students behave in countries where college is free, what's replacing the 4-year degree, and why the only person who still thinks college is the answer is the college itself. Subscribe to the briefing room now. Let's get into it. Let's start with the US. In America, college enrollment peaked in 2010 at 18.1 million students. By spring 2025, it's down to 15.3 million undergraduates, a 15.5% decline over 15 years. Experts call it the enrollment cliff, a long-term decline driven by falling birth rates, rise in tuition, and shifting attitudes. In October 2024, only 62% of high school graduates enrolled in college, up slightly from 61% in 2023, but still well below the 70% peak in 2009, while the total number of undergraduates went up just a bit in 2024. That increase came from non-traditional students and online enrollments, not typical 18 to 24-year-olds. In fact, the share of students aged 25 plus rose to 32%, driven by flexible, career-oriented programs. So, the college-age population is shrinking, but even among those eligible, fewer are opting in, especially for full-time, on-campus degrees. To understand this trend, let's take a quick look across the other side of the world. In the UK, the story is more nuanced. According to the Universities and Colleges Admission Service, also known as UCAS, 665,070 people applied to university by the June 2025 deadline, up 1.3% from 2024. But among 18-year-olds, the application rate fell to 40.6% in 2025. This was from 41.3% the year before. That's according to the Higher Education Policy Institute and UCAS joint data release. So yes, applications are up overall, but that's because the population of 18-year-olds is growing. Interest per eligible student is slightly down. And it's not just a blip. According to the Higher Education Policy Institute, the growth in application rates over the past decade has stalled, with many young people increasingly citing cost of living, mental health, and job relevance as reasons to delay or skip uni altogether. Meanwhile, dropout rates are still climbing. At some universities, over 20% of first-year students don't make it to second year, though the national average is closer to 12%. And the crazier bit is, only about 56% of students are expected to repay their loans in full, which would explain why more 18-year-olds are taking gap years, choosing apprenticeships, or opting for online and vocational routes. And among those who do enroll, many are dropping out early, often citing financial pressure or lack of support. This just shows the flight of younger Americans from traditional 4-year degrees and brings us to the money conversation. In the US, average federal student debt is now about $39,075. That's according to the Education Data Initiative, published in 2025. The top 10 US universities, Harvard, Stanford, MIT, are also the most expensive. Tuition alone? We're looking at over $60,000 per year. That's according to the College Board's 2024 pricing index. For comparison, in England, the debt is even higher. English graduates carry an average debt of £53,000, approximately $64,000, which makes UK graduates the most indebted in the developed world. That's according to the House of Commons Library. In other parts of the UK, the numbers vary significantly. So yeah, cost matters everywhere. But what do you actually get for it in the US? The real question is, does the degree still pay for itself? A 2024 Education Dynamics study found that unemployment among US master's degree holders rose 75% year on year, even while those without formal qualifications saw declines. The return on investment is now under unprecedented scrutiny. Students are no longer willing to accept debt for an uncertain payoff. and looking beyond just employment. According to Gallup's 2025 survey, public confidence in U.S. higher education is low, sitting at around 42%. Anecdotally, the skepticism is even higher among Gen Z. Employers are shifting focus from degrees to skills. Google, IBM, and PwC have dropped degree requirements for many roles. Instead, they're hiring more based on certifications, portfolios, and apprenticeships. I'm sure you have the same question on my mind. Is the return on investment still there? Let's do the maths. Imagine you take on the average US student debt of $39,000 and graduate into a job paying $50,000. Depending on your repayment plan and interest rate, it could take 10 to 15 years to repay your loan, especially with the high cost of living. Meanwhile, major coding bootcamp reports show average starting salaries for graduates are typically between $65,000 and $75,000. So yeah, the benefits of college are falling below the costs, and people are noticing. If you are enjoying this video, hit like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Now let's look at what's rising in place of traditional uni. The data shows a clear shift. Vocational training, online degrees, boot camps, they're all booming. According to the UK Department for Education's 2025 Skills Dashboard, in England, over 1.6 million adults are enrolled in further education and skills programs. Apprenticeships are up 12% year on year. Online learning is exploding too. The global market is projected to reach $279 billion by 2029. The US is seeing similar spikes in skilled trades and technical programs. In 2024, 562,000 students were enrolled in virtual schools. Are people choosing online because it's better or just cheaper? It turns out it's both, and here's why. Let's start with cost. In the US, bootcamps average $11,000, while tuition at a top-tier 4-year university can exceed $60,000 per year. That's a huge difference. For contrast, the average coding bootcamp in the UK costs between £5,000 and £12,000 and lasts 3 to 6 months. A traditional UK university degree costs £9,250 per year in tuition alone, plus living expenses, and takes 3 years minimum. So yeah, boot camps and online courses are significantly cheaper, but cheaper doesn't always mean better. So let's also look at the outcomes. A study by Copilot Careers found that bootcamp graduates often land jobs within 3 to 6 months of completing their program, especially in tech, design, and data roles. They're trained in industry-relevant skills, with curriculums updated to match what employers actually want. Colleges, they offer broader education, yes, but that can mean they align less with job market demands. According to the World Economic Forum, 60% of all employees will need reskilling by 2030, especially in areas like cloud computing and AI. Boot camps are built for that kind of agility. To add to that, many boot camps now offer job placement support, mock interviews, and employer networking. Some report placement rates over 80%, though this varies by provider. So, if you're looking for speed, affordability, and direct access to jobs, boot camps and online learning tick all the boxes. But if you want prestige with academic depth and a broader foundation, college still has its place. It's not about better or worse. It's about fit. While preparing the script for this video, I thought to myself, could it be just about costs? Are people skipping uni in other countries that have a lower cost of education? So, I took a look. In Denmark, Finland, Norway, and Sweden, uni is free for their citizens and EU students, with grants and living support. And yet, according to OECD's Education at a Glance 2025, enrollment in these countries is stable, not rising. So even when cost is removed, students aren't rushing in. They're still weighing relevance, flexibility, and outcomes. Free education helps, but it doesn't solve the deeper question people keep asking. Does university still make sense? And what do all these changes mean for the future? The university system isn't dead, but the idea that it's the only path, that's fading. People do want value. They want education that fits their lives. They want options, whether you're 16, 26, or 46. This matters. It's about how we prepare for the future, how we invest our time, our money, and ourselves. Because in 2025, education definitely isn't one size fits all. And the smartest choice might not be the traditional one. If you enjoyed this, you should check out my other videos on the screen and linked in the description. Cheers for watching. See you next time.